Welcome to eBuilder University's on-demand video training. If you'd like to learn more about additional training opportunities, please contact your account manager. Now let's jump into creating a new schedule within resource management with cost.
Hello, this is Roger Newman. I'm a product analyst with eBuilder, and I'm excited to be talking to you about our new schedule resource management with cost module that can be purchased. Once it's been purchased, I'm going to show you the basic settings, the initial settings for setting up a new schedule in eBuilder. So today we will be talking specifically about the following areas: how to select the schedule manager role with resource management and cost enabled, the choices that you will see for linking resource cost to the budget, and lastly, how to manage calendars or working time on a project schedule. So let's go into eBuilder. I'm currently in a demo project in eBuilder, and I'm going to navigate to the schedule module for that project. You'll come to a very similar screen that you've seen in the past, but there are a few new items that are available when the client has purchased resource management with cost. Those items relate to how they want to link resource cost to the budget. So I will walk through the requirements for choosing any of the options other than none. So none means there is no linkage between the resource cost and the project budget. And then you have the other options to link tasks to budget line item or link resources to budget line item. And these options are only available to select users on that project. So first, I have none selected. I'm going to look at the drop-down, and I can see that the manager role has lots of roles available to pick from. Okay, this is basically every role on that account. If I change to task to budget line item, and I go back to the manager role, there's a lot fewer roles to select from. And that's an important distinction. Once I choose to link resource costs to the budget by linking tasks to budget line items or resources to budget line items, I must pick a role that has view cost permissions. They must have the ability to view the cost module is basically the requirement. Now that's a very important distinction because once we have given this permission to this user, they will be able to pick from the project's budget line items. So I'll go ahead and pick a project manager role, and then I will pick the two users in that role on this project. So I have a user, I'll pick myself, and I'm done as far as selecting my schedule manager. So let me just recap a couple things. The 2 points that I want to stress are, in order to link resource costs to the budget, the manager role must be a user that has view cost permissions, or a role that has view cost permissions. And there's also another important point that although you're going to designate a single manager user as the manager of the project schedule, any user on that project in the same role will also be able to edit the schedule and manage resources on this schedule. Please make a note of that. So once you've decided to link your resource cost to the budget, you now have to choose between the two options, how to make the linkage for your project schedule. We give you two options. You can link task to budget line item, or you can link resources to budget line items. And this is very important. It's based on how your organization manages staff costs and how your staff charges their time to your project against your project budget. If your organization has an activity, let's call it a design activity, and all the professionals working on that design activity all use the same budget line item to charge their time to, or same account code, then choose link task to budget line item. However, if you're an organization where you have a mechanical engineer working on it, and a structural engineer and an architect, whatever the case may be, but each different engineer has a different cost code or different account code to charge their time to, then you need to choose the option to link resources to budget line item. Keep that in mind. It's the question you should have for your project managers. How do people charge time to your project? And then make the appropriate choice. So in this case, I've chosen to link my resource cost to the budget by linking task to budget line item, because that's the way my organization operates. Once you have that done, go ahead and save, and eBuilder will redirect you to the Gantt area, the task detail page. So now that I'm on this page, I am going to start adding a couple of tasks, and I'll do that, just some simple tasks for this demonstration. Make a 10-day task, and I'll have one more task. And let's keep it simple, make that 20 days. Okay, I have 2 tasks on my project, and now I have the ability to assign a resource to this task. So go and add a new column. That's the shortcut. Assigned resources is what I'm looking for. And here you will be able to select from any resources that have been loaded on your account by the eBuilder admin. So I'll go into, click in there, and I'll just start picking resources. I have a gentleman named Craig that's going to be working on that task. I'll put him at 50% and close that window. And I'll just have him on both my design activities, and copy and drag and copy that down. And now I will just show you a new column called work. And there's also a column I want to show you for planned work. And I'll make that distinction in 1 minute. So now that you see the planned work column, you'll notice that there is nothing in terms of hours under that column. And that's because planned work are resource hours linked to budget line items. So I will go ahead and bring in the budget line item column. On this project, I have a staff account code. And the minute I select that linkage to the staff account code, the planned work is now populated with the same hours that was in the work column. So the difference is work is just the hours, total resource hours that I have on a task. Planned work are the resource hours linked to budget line items. And I'll go ahead and just copy that down. So you'll see both the work and planned work match once you make the linkage to budget line items. Now I will save my work. And right before I leave this page, I want to bring in 2 more columns, which is the cost, the resource cost, and also the planned cost. So once again, the cost are just the resources cost in terms of their hours multiplied by their pay rates plus labor burden. And the planned cost is the resource cost for resources that are linked to budget line items. So you'll see there is a cost of $12,000 for the second task and $6,000 for the first task. And now when I go to the cost summary, I will see that $18,000 under the staff budget line item under the resource cost column, which is a brand new column. So we have real-time updates. Once you save your resource costs and link them to budget line items, they now are visible on your cost summary. Next, I want to show you a different project that has the resource cost linkage to budget line item, and it's the option to choose link resource cost to the budget by linking resources to budget line item. So with that option, once I go into a given task, I will use the task details, navigate to the resource tab, and you'll be able to see that they have, even though they're working on the same task, they're charging time to 2 different budget line items. One person is charging to the mechanical engineering cost item, and the other is charging to the project management of design budget line item. So when you go into the cost summary for this project, you will notice that even though they're both charging in design, there's cost attributed to project management for design, and cost also attributed to the mechanical engineer account code, even though they're working on the same task. That's the second option. Now we're going to talk about how to manage the calendar or working time in eBuilder on a schedule that has resource management and cost enabled. First, there are going to be 3 predefined calendars with 3 different work weeks. We have a standard calendar, which is your Monday to Friday, 8 hours each day. Then there's the 7-day week, Sunday to Saturday, 8 hours each day. I've often heard that called a calendar day calendar. And finally, we have a 24-hour calendar, which is Sunday to Saturday, 24 hours each day, your round-the-clock calendar. So from your eBuilder schedule, on the toolbar, you will notice there's a working time icon right above the calendar section. Go ahead and click into that. And these are the 3 predefined calendars. The standard, which is the 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. This one happens to be 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. The 7-day week, which is all 7 days, Sunday to Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. in this instance. And finally, the 24-hour calendar, which is all 7 days, Sunday to Saturday, 12 a.m. to 12 a.m. In addition to the predefined calendars, users in the manager role can add additional calendars for use on their project schedule. And then any created calendar can be selected for any task in the schedule. So let me show you how that's going to work. So in eBuilder, when I want to add a new calendar, navigate to the working time icon right above calendars in the toolbar. And on the upper left side, you'll notice a add button. And this is only going to be available to users in the schedule manager role. Go ahead and click add. And I'm going to create a new calendar. You also have the option of making a copy of one of the other predefined calendars, but let's just go ahead and create a new calendar. I'm going to rename it. So I will call mine council meetings because we have a special council meeting on the first Wednesday of every month. So with this new calendar, I am now going to create some exceptions. You can create non-workday exception days on any calendar, but we wanted to caution you against adding exceptions to the predefined 7-day week or the 24 hours calendars because that defeats the intent of those 2 calendars. But any other calendar, you can add exceptions. Most companies will be putting their company holidays on their standard calendar, for instance. And once you have exceptions on your project's schedule calendar, they only apply to tasks on that project. So I'm now in my council meeting calendar, and I'm going to go ahead and create some exceptions for July of this year, for June and July of this year. And that will become evident in a second. So I mentioned the council only meets the first Wednesday of every month. So you go to the day that's the first exception day. And I'll go ahead and click on June 6th, which is the first Thursday, and add that as an exception. And then under the exceptions area at the bottom, go ahead and pick the finish date when that exception ends. So it will be from Thursday, June 6th. It will continue until the 2nd of July, which is a Tuesday. So that will be the first exception. Now we're going to add another exception, and that will be beginning on July 4th. And that will continue through the first Tuesday in August, which is August 6th. So I've created these 2 exceptions, and the reason why will become evident in 1 second. So go ahead and apply those exceptions to this council meeting calendar. I'll go ahead and close this working time pop-up. And the reason I picked July is we have an award of the construction contract occurring right now. It's scheduled to occur on July 31st. I'm going to change the calendar from a standard calendar because that would have been the day after the evaluation of bids. I'm going to change that to my council meeting calendar. And the minute I've made that change, it updated the date of the award construction contract to be the first Wednesday in August, which is August 7th. I'll go ahead and save that change. And you'll notice there's going to be a gap from when the bid evaluation ended on July 30th to the first Wednesday of the month when the council meets and can actually award the contract on August 7th of 2019. And that's all because I applied that special calendar to that one task. So that's a good use case of why you would do exceptions and why you would create a special calendar just for certain big events like council meetings, board meetings, etc. I truly want to thank you for watching today's session, and we look forward to you watching further episodes.
If you'd like to learn more about additional training opportunities, please contact your account manager.